look, you've got China being our largest buyer of our debt. So, how does that square with all of this going on? I mean, Beijing apparently, reportedly wants to, help Russia. And the U.S. says it's going to send lethal aid to Russia for its war in Ukraine. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writes that if China does cross the red line and provide weapons to Russia, the U.S. would have to further decouple economically with China. I don't think this president has any intention of that. Beijing's top diplomat is headed to Moscow this week, Senator. And yet, China can unleash a deadly virus, killing Americans, 1 million Americans. China can produce fentanyl and send it to Mexico, killing 100,000 Americans by poisoning. China can cover up the origins of COVID-19 and not allow an investigation in Wuhan. China can send a spy balloon over throughout the United States, and this president allows it to float freely throughout half of the country while hovering over our military installations and sending pictures back to Beijing of our nuclear installations. Can China do any wrong?
I don't get this president. I mean, he appeases Xi. He appeases these dictators in Latin America. He won't hold anybody accountable. Right? I mean, but first off, let's all understand something. The first person that ought to make sure we hold China accountable is every American consumer. Every American consumer should say, I will not buy another product made in Communist China. The government of Communist China has decided to be our adversary. So we all have to do this. Every American company has to say, we're not doing business in China anymore. This makes no sense. We just passed a China bill. I didn't vote for it because it's a China bill that gives Intel the opportunity to just continue to do business in China just like they have. And they said they will continue to do business after they get all these billions of dollars, even if China invades Taiwan. So we all have to be part of this. The consumer, our companies, our government. We have to decouple from China. They want to destroy our way of life.
Well, you've got to tell corporate America that, who seems to be unfazed by continuing to fund the expansion of the CCP. I recognize it starts with policy, and this president is not changing policy. China still has most favored nations trade status. So get your head around that. I mean, China still has most favored trade nation status.
How? I mean, why are we doing this to ourselves? When the American consumer, the American business, our government wake up? Don't buy Chinese drones. Don't do business with them. They want to surveil us. They want to destroy our way